Hi gorgeous lights, welcome to an energy update for the 16th. Wow, there's so much intensity, both in the colours on the airways and the way that people are behaving towards each other as well. So Taru, this morning, my guide, I said to him, what is a word that I can bring to the table today for the energy? And they said bliss. And I'm like, oh, okay, well, it's quite hard to be blissful if you're an energy that's a little bit challenging. And they said, no, it's about actually consciously choosing an alignment that you can keep reinforcing and keep building on, and that sort of thing. And I was like, so I'll have to stop and think, what am I actually blissful about? What actually does bring me bliss? You know, a sense of well-being, all of those sort of things. And quite often we don't slow down enough because we're feeling so driven all the time by what we think we have to do, how we think we're supposed to turn up, that we don't actually stop and investigate what does make us feel our bliss. And one of the things that they did, they asked me to stop when I was making coffee before and just sit down and think of how I feel about, you know, like having the first sip or having something, or sitting down and actually just savouring the fact that I can enjoy this or I can do this as well. And I'm like, oh, okay, so everything is actually broken up into moments, right? So we're grabbing moments where we can actually surrender to going, actually, that is really lovely. I really enjoyed that. Now, the guides are saying that quite often we don't stop long enough or pause long enough to actually savour moments like that are really good. And then you can actually say, okay, well, I don't do that very often, so how do I incorporate this to override the negativity that actually human beings would gear towards negativity? Fight or flight, crikey, we've got stuff that makes us go, need to be mindful of the negative. But in order to change the way that the brain works, then we do have to hunt the good stuff that actually says, this is really good and I'm going to savour this. We don't stop and savour the good stuff. We kind of override and go into the negative stuff. Now, because it's relationship energy and it's intense, we're getting kind of triggered left, right and centre by other people without actually going, I need to do some of the work on myself. I need to actually investigate in here and look at what does make me blissful. Where is my bliss? What are the things that I do uniquely for me? And surrender to that understanding that you probably need more of this energy. And it's right up there with self-love and self-nurturing and self, which is what this energy is driving to you towards, a deeper understanding of where your truthful needs are and what you need to fulfill those needs for yourself. So it's really complex what's actually going on as well. And the guides are kind of a little bit worried about the levels of disharmony that people are kind of getting stuck in because they're wanting to control external circumstances. And I'll use, for example, if you're in a relationship with someone and they have chosen to, they're very, very adamant that they want to do something over there, and they can because that's for them, but it doesn't fit into your way of thinking, or it doesn't fit into your understanding. It could be a family member, it could be a work colleague, it could be all of those things, and you're just starting to get into that absolute frustration and resentment that the other person is not seeing your point of view. They don't have to. They have their own point of view, and we're not doing allowability right at the moment that actually says, I deeply honour that that's what you need to do. We're wandering around going, this person has to turn up in this way for me. And you're not looking in that moment where you're demanding that somebody else turns up for you, you are not looking to what you need to self-nurture and self-regulate in yourself, which means that you just don't do that behaviour. You just don't do it. So we're heading into this unity energy, which is just really, really beautiful. But where do you have to become a unified person? I know I'm going to sound like a broken record, but you literally have to start becoming unified mind, words, heart, in yourself, and the way that you are actually treating yourself. So if you self-critique or you're judgmental about what somebody else is doing, then you're no more or less judgmental than what you're actually doing to yourself. So it's really, really important here for people to start understanding what's actually going on in this energy is not kind of forcing you into alignment, but empowering you to see where you don't come into unity in yourself, where your thoughts, your words, not in alignment. Look, we as human beings, we all tell those little white lies, like your friend says, do I look really good in this outfit? And you go mentally, not really, but you go, no, it's fine, you look great. I mean, we all do white lies, that's the whole thing. But this energy is saying, come into truthful alignment. Like, there's no lightning bolt that's going to whack you if you actually say to your friend, look, I absolutely love you, but that's not an outfit I would have chosen for you. There's discernment of saying, so that you can actually say, oh, I'm not carrying the burden of not telling her, or feeling guilty, which is the other thing, or shameful that you didn't actually say what you actually needed to say. We are getting into real energy, seriously real energy. This energy is not going away. I would love to tell you that it's going away. It is not going away, people. So the more that you actually investigate the truth of what you actually need for you, how you need to turn up, where your bliss is, all the sorts of things that actually define who you are, without checking in for approval with someone else or getting it validated from somebody else, but validating for yourself. That's the way that I felt about it, and I'm actually okay with it. Those words that came out of my mouth, I'm not going to agonise over them. They already came out. You can't take words back again. So you actually have to say, well, that's how I felt at this stage, but without justifying it to the other person. Because yeah, if you're going to put your words and your thoughts into alignment, you're going to say them the way that you need to say them for you. That is not saying them for how the other person is going to hear them. They're going to hear them exactly the way that they want to hear them, or through their wound, or whatever. The key here is actually coming into this certainty, Taryn's just said, in yourself, that you're okay with the way that you turned up, the way that your alignment is working. Now, this is unfamiliar territory for most people. We've societally programmed, seriously, to not be honest. How many times you go into a shop and a lady goes, oh, hi, how are you today? Or assistant goes, how are you today? And you go, oh, fine, thank you, how about you? Ooh, degrees of illusion all through there as well. And people will say, well, that's a nicety. No, it's not. It's actual dishonesty. People will fall over backwards half the time and say, how are you? I'm having a bit of a miserable day, but it's okay. I didn't ask anyone to fix it. It's, you know, why? Why can't you say that? So it's really, really an investigative process right at the moment as well. Is it building an intensity? Oh my word, yes it is. So it keys on you actually going, okay, it's all about me. They're playing that song, it's me, I'm the drama, it's me. Yeah, 100%, because until you come into unity within yourself and you're actually in alignment, then there's going to be lots of external trigger points that actually make you actually go, am I being honest with myself? So this get real energy is, yeah, it's necessary, but because beyond it, and you can't rush the process, I want to be really, really clear about that, but beyond it is a deeper level of being in touch and in understanding with your own self about what truthfully makes you happy. And it is the biggest self-nurturing lesson that you're actually really going to get. And you can't avoid it. I love people so much, seriously, I love you all. But if one more person says to me, how do I avoid this? I'm going to get the giggles, because honestly, you can't avoid it. And I've said to Spirit for years, good grief, this experience is really, really intense. And they're going, growth, 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 growth. Because as human beings, we don't grow from the light and fluffy stuff, guys. We don't go, oh, but it's nice, and then we dismiss it because we get towards negativity. So it takes those crunch points, challenge points, those points where you go, I'm done, or I'm had enough, or I'm changing this, or whatever. Those are the points that actually make you actually investigate. And this energy is all about it. The intensity is building this week. It's actually building up to about the 27th of August. So I kind of politely in my head dubbed this month the duck and roll month. But I'd be advising you not to duck and roll. I'd be advising you to investigate, because September and October, they're loaded months as well. They are all about recognition in self, new opportunities, new beginnings, and anything that's not serving you, and I think I mentioned it in the last video, anything that's not serving you will be illuminated in this energy, and you will be forced, bless you, to look at all the areas where you are letting things slide. This is both for yourself and relationships and career, right across the whole board, where you're not actually gifting yourself understanding that you are so important, and the alignment of the people around you is very, very important. If you're turning up and it's always in people pleasing, or you're always looking after someone else, then you're going to get hammered. And look, I also want to tell people, just be really, really kind to yourself as well, because the way that the universe, if you persist in people pleasing and you don't start to actually look at what you also need to do for yourself and put yourself in the equation, the only platform that the universe has to work with you is your own personal health, to make you see, or help empower you to see how truly important you are. So there's a lot of health stuff starting to actually appear as reminders for people that they need to pull it back down and go, I need to put myself back in the equation. I am over giving too much of my energy, which has taken a toll on my body, and my body has actually reminded me that I can't do this anymore. I've given away too much energy. I have to look to myself and actually look after myself during this period of time as well. It's big energy, guys. Please look after you. And remember, hunt the good stuff, because as you're hunting the good stuff, you actually change the programming in your brain to look for the good stuff, which is awesome, because it is there in the face of everything else. It's just that human beings don't like change. We don't like change, and we will do anything to hold on to even those things that don't serve us, just because they're familiar. Time for change. It's coming. I suggest you start to do the work on you so you can navigate really well, hunting the good stuff through these times of change. Take care of you.